Hello, guys, and 3% girls according to my YouTube statistics. Yes, they know that. Yes, they tell me. Yes, they're inside your house right now. These 5 Zendikar friends right here are going to help my webcam focus. Just kidding, already filmed it, didn't help. But we're going to touch on a topic that's so unbelievably hot right now that I needed to bring in some paper and a pen. It's Battle for Zendikar Fat Packs. Now, the super short summary of the problem is that fat packs are online right about 60. They're not running any more of them, allegedly. And some of the local game stores have been selling them above the MSRP of 40 when certain vendors like Target and Walmart aren't even allowed to. So now they're all sold out except for really turbo expensive ones and everybody's unhappy. So people have been blaming everybody and talking about all the reasons. So I'm going to break down the actual reasons and who's actually to blame. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's pretty much who's to blame for all of the problems with Magic the Gathering over the years. Yeah, that kind of gives it away, but let's get started. You've got your fat pack right there. And MSRP on it is 40 bucks. Now people are selling it for 60 bucks. That's $20 higher. Now what's the average land pack going for? Oh, about $20 to $25, give or take, online on eBay. That was the last price. It was between 20 and 25, but we'll say 20 because they were like 21 for the longest time. So there's your difference right there. You got 60 minus the $20 lands is 40. So you're basically buying a fat pack plus the land pack. So I kind of get the logic of that. I'm still not happy about it. But from there, let's do a little math. One land pack contains 16 times 5. So 16 of all 5 colors, which equals 80 lands. Now, at $20, which is what they're at right now, that equals about 31 cents, 31 and a quarter. So 31 cents per land. I think they're not going to rise above 50. There's various reasons, mostly because the old ones are $1 to $2 depending upon where you buy them. So these just aren't going to exceed it. The supply is higher. People know to hoard them. It's just not going to go higher. Now, if they hit $4 and these hit $1, okay, I kind of get that. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So 31 cents each. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't think they're going to sink below 25 cents either. So at 25 cents, that's still pretty darn close to 20 bucks. So I think 20 bucks is a pretty good price actually for this land pack. So you could argue, yes, you are getting actually $20 more value. That's not just because people are hoarding them. It's not, 20 bucks because everybody's sitting on them and then people still want to use them. It's just because that's what they're worth. I mean, that's what they're going to be worth, what they're worth now, and what they're going to be worth in the future. So you can't argue that it's not worth 20 because it is. I mean, I just can't see these lands hitting 10 cents. There's not that many of them to go around. Now, with one land pack, you can't even build one deck with that if it's mono. So, it's only 16 of every color. You should put about 21 in the average deck. So you'd have to have 2 land packs just to build one mono deck. I mean, that's pretty bad. And I opened 11 boxes, got about 400 or 500 total that I own. You start dividing that by color, I cannot build more than 3 mono decks without running out. So it's not that hard to hit a very high number of these with one person personally. So 20 bucks, yeah, that's about right. So if that's the price that they are now, that's the price that they're going to be in the future. You are getting additional value considering that the land pack and a fat pack is usually worth, I think, like $3 or $4 or something like that once you consider shipping on eBay. So not much. So, that would be like a $35 fat pack if you were to remove that from the value, when this, if you remove 20, you're at 20. So let's break down which one of these two a local game store should do. So if your local game store, gosh, my handwriting is terrible, wants to go this path, $40, they have, as a result, less money, so a little bit less money, and unhappy people, because if it's like mine, which is gigantic, whoops, I'm off the paper, hold on, they sold out on day one, and they probably got like 500 to 1,000 of them. So yeah, there's people hoarding them, but honestly, I think just normal players really just wanted those lands, just to have them. I don't think it was all speculators. I mean, that's just not who plays there. So let's say you go the $60 route. Now you've got more money, and you've got unhappy people because you're charging $60. You might still have some in stock, but if you sold completely out, then you've really got a lot of money. So if you're going to have unhappy people, either way, why not make more money? Now, I think people are more unhappy, so let's just draw some more. Let's make him mad. Oh, look at him, he's mad. He's mad about that $60 price. He's got his eyebrows out and everything. Look at him, I almost drew his eyes correctly. So he's really, really, really not happy that they're charging $60, so he might never come back to the store again. So that might lose the money in the long run. Now this guy, he's just like, oh crap, I should have probably pre-ordered or, you know, bought them on day one. So he's probably angrier. So they're close though, but you know, if you're gonna have unhappy people, go with the money route. I think that's the logic of some of the local game stores that went this route. Most of them went this route from what I heard. Now that is not the case online, but let's take a look at that too. So let's say they sell 10,000 fat packs. This is Wizards right here. They sell them for, I think, something like $27. I'm not sure if that figure is right, but it doesn't really matter. So they make $270,000. That is what Wizards took in. So now you got your local game store. They're selling, we'll say 8,000. I'm not sure what the ratio is. They're selling them for 40 because they're all perfectly honest grades. So that results in $320,000. So $50,000 profit so far, and they haven't even sold them all. So now you got your online sellers. That's a big O right there for online. Should have drawn a cat because that represents the internet, but still. That's 2,000 remaining, and they are selling them for 60 because they don't care if you come back. They're a giant online seller. There's always going to be people shopping there. So that would be $120,000. So the combined gross sales, well, that would be gross sales, would be $440,000. So the profit that they made, so that's gross. The profit that they made off those would be, let's see, I actually didn't calculate this yet. 440,000 minus the 270,000 that they paid, that's 170,000 in profit. Ooh, look at that. Now, the fact that this price got driven up, boy, that really benefits Wizards. Oh, no, it doesn't benefit Wizards in any way. Wizards, under all circumstances, made $270,000. The only people that this profit is going back to is the local game stores and the online sellers. That's the profit. So I'm sure, you know, Wizards is making a profit because it does not cost $27 a box to print or package or ship them. But, you know, that's their gross on it is $270,000. So that's what they have to work with. So the fact that this price went up has no effect on Wizards. Wizards makes no more money. From a business standpoint, that's stupid. So, you know, supply and demand, basic economics, here's what they do about it. They can either increase the price, because the demand is going up, but they can only produce 10,000, so they have to up the price. Now, this is verified. They absolutely did not do this. They did not up the price to your local game stores. These fat packs cost exactly the same as the last 10 fat packs, from what I've heard. So I'm sure somebody would be complaining if that wasn't true. So the other option is to up the supplies. So as I think it was MTG headquarters said this, but somebody online said this, in order for Wizards to make more money, they have to actually put products in people's hands. They have to actually sell more product. If they just simply make the set more valuable, it only benefits these people. They don't see any of the money from it. Now, there's one exception. If they literally increase demand by making new customers, new people started playing the game, okay, then eventually in the next couple runs, this would be above 10,000. That's not what happened this time. There's Expedition Lands and Full Arts. That's how this happened. It's not, it's an increase in demand, but it's not really increasing their customer base. So they can't maintain this forever, or they'll get into the power creep problems and the weird collectibles problem, and people will stop respecting them. So they can't all be as good as BFZ is what I'm saying. So, why are they not making more fat packs? Let's answer that. Well, what they have is waves or phases. We'll just say waves. So we got wave 1. So they take a bunch of pre-orders from the shops. The shops order what they think they want. They print what they think the demand is. Usually there's a gigantic discrepancy there. And so they made X amount of fat packs. So this is before wave 1. It's up here. But during wave 1, they fill all the pre-orders, and then they have the spares because they run them all at once. They actually ran them in like wave 0 up here. So during wave 1, they fill all the pre-orders, and then they sit on the spares. So by the time wave 2 rolls around, they ship out more boxes that I'm fairly certain they actually printed at that point. I'm not 100% sure. They might buffer it by 1 wave or 2 waves. I don't really know how they do it, but I know that they can respond a lot faster to these. But Fat Packs, they only run off once. So in the past, they would take the spares and sell them during wave 2. So they would fill the pre-orders during wave 1, and then the spares would go to wave 2, and they would kind of look like pre-orders, but they're more like just literal orders. So before wave 2 ships out, like right before, the local game store or the online seller would say, hey, ship us 100 more, and that would come out of the spare pile, and then that would result in showing up during wave 2. So what happened, because this is not what happened, is they had the X amount of fats, and then wave 1 came around. This is what literally happened during Battle for Zendikar. Their pre-orders came in, so they made them, the pre-orders came in, and they had 0 left spare. Absolutely 0 left for spare. So during wave 1, all the pre-orders equaled the spares, and so the spares are gone. So during wave 2, so normally, wave 2, the second shipment to your local game store, you're used to having more there, but that's not what happened. So they sold out, and so it appears that they run them off twice. They don't. So this overflow is still 0, and so wave 2, you get nothing, absolutely nothing, and then you get unhappy customers. So that's the mistake they made. Now, I used to work at a graphics plant, and let's say even if Wizards directly owned my graphics and printing plant that I worked at, it would be 3 weeks minimum. Like if we absolutely rushed it, the orders came in and everything was preset, we just hit like Control P and Enter again. It's not quite that simple. And we ran off some more Fat Packs to get them packaged up in cases, counted, verified, serial numbers on them, then distribute them among the country. I mean, 3 weeks would be fast. It just could not happen faster than that. So, we're right here. Wave 2 just shipped out like, I don't know, a day or 2 ago. So we're right starting, this is where we are right now. Well, I'm not sure what I'm drawing, but this is our time machine that we're traveling in. So this is, I should have drawn, I don't know, a little time machine or a little hourglass or something, but this is where we are right now. And so they're saying we didn't make any more previously. We're not going to make any in the near future. So then, at least not from this one. So if there's like a wave 3, 4, 5, I don't really know how many it goes up to. Who knows? Maybe they just play it by ear. 3 weeks, because this was about like 1.5 to 2 weeks right here. You're gonna be way down here if they decide like tomorrow to say, hey, let's make more Fat Packs. So that's the problem, is it would be so far. I mean, there only are, what, 8 to 12 weeks between releases? They actually just changed the time now, so I don't know what it is. But they made it shorter, and the blocks are smaller, whatever. But I think it's about once every 3 months. A new I don't know, set within a block comes out, we'll say, because I think it's about a 6-month block now. So you'd be so many weeks past release date at that point. People would still buy them, but I guess they just said, screw it. They just don't want to make more money. Oh, running out of paper space again. There we go. So yeah, you could put them in like, what, wave 4, wave 6, wave 5, whatever. I'm not even sure those waves exist of shipping. I'm pretty sure it's like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So I guess they just don't want to, like a month from now, get them in people's hands. They don't want to run off another 100,000, ship them out to local game stores, and then people are all pissed off with BFZ, all the cards tanked in price, and I guess they forgot about the lands, or they just don't care. And then they'd get stuck with them. I don't see that happening. I think right now, today, they should demand that they start printing more Fat Packs. But they said as of today and in the past, they did not run off anymore. They're not on their way. They're not just ordered at the press. There's nothing. There's nothing down here. So if they, like I said, if they change their mind tomorrow, you're looking at way weeks down the line before they even get to a store shelf. So kind of a problem. I mean, local game stores might just themselves not order them, and then Wizards would get stuck with them, which is even worse than a local game store getting stuck with them. So I guess that's what they want to do. So where did the screw-up happen, and whose fault is it? Right here in Wizards. They did not make enough in the first place. That's just it. That's all there is to it. I mean, they should have known LAN packs would be unbelievably popular. So I'm sure they made more fat packs at this point, more than normal, but they should have like tripled it. They probably went like 1.2x, 120%. Oh, maybe we'll sell a little bit more. No, fat packs have become more and more and more popular in later years, so they should have known that this one, just for the lands alone, would have just sent it through the roof. So they missed out on probably a couple $1 million, honestly. That's a shame, but, they brought it on themselves. Wizards, they bring everything on themselves. Like, they invented poison counters and everybody stopped playing the game, and, they've done worse things with shipping in the past. Just look up the whole story behind, what was that? Homelands. That went great for the vendors. Everybody was pissed. Customers were pissed, vendors were pissed, Wizards was pissed. I think they're actually, with how many they did here in this whole situation, they're actually trying to prevent another Homelands, if you think about it. So, that is unfortunate. So the moral of the story is, if your local game store is selling them for 40 and they sold out, that's Wizards' fault. If your local game store is selling them for 60, they still sold out, everybody's pissed, it's still Wizards' fault. So the moral of the story is it's Wizards' fault. Everything is Wizards' fault. So if you want someone to be mad at, I would suggest Wizards. That's where I would go first. Just because, you could call your local game store greedy. But I think they were maybe just trying to take advantage of a bad situation. Wow, that really can't focus. They were just making the best out of a bad situation. They want to make money. They're losing money to online sales. Now there's such a thing as an authorized Wizards online seller, so that could spell the end for local game stores. This is my bottle of rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to go find a match. Until next time.